Thanks for staying with us. Now, April 20th has become an international counterculture holiday where people gather to celebrate and consume cannabis. Many such events have a political nature to them, advocating the liberalization and legalization of cannabis. As marijuana continues to be decriminalized and legalized around the world, on this day, many marijuana users protest in civil disobedience by gathering in public to smoke at 4:20 p.m.
They even have a time.
They have a time of 4:20. You have to smoke. Igbo.
Have you ever smoked anything?
Look,
Igbo.
I didn't say Igbo.
You know, but
Have you ever smoked?
But there is legal marijuana, you know.
Yeah, of course. I was going to bring the
Medicinal.
doctor. In fact, thank you for reminding me. I'm going to reach out to the doctor. Because in the heat of the COVID, we couldn't continue the conversation. We had a conference. Remember I told you in 2019, where he talked about the patch and everything for pain and everything.
Yeah.
So, what's it called? Clinical marijuana that they what's it called? Administer.
To patients.
Yeah, so I would bring the doctors.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it is medicinal, very, but it's just the use.
Yeah.
Especially
so in the spirit of marijuana,
why?
Let's take your story
Why
first.
Me? Because
You're the one talking about the bone. I say that woman.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I just didn't want to say. Okay. People in this constituency.
Yes.
But I don't take marijuana. Anyway, bottom line is this. My story actually resonated with me because it has to do with children. And in the story, the headline says, NDLEA nabs undergraduate boyfriend who sells drug cookies to children. I don't understand this. Now, let me just give you the synopsis of it. Basically, operatives of National Drug Enforcement Agency have found and arrested a 300-level student who is called Rhoda Agboje and her boyfriend Ifeanyi Wanko, who specialized in producing and selling drug cookies. Now, imagine you taking cookies and instead of you to eat normal cookies, you're actually taking in marijuana or drugs. And this could be, they're different. In this context, they could be in different ranges from Arizona to Rofinol and the likes of them. And what actually pained me the most about this was that she admits she gave it to a young girl who was unsuspecting, and she took it, she was ignorant, she ate the cookies and became, in fact, she was incoherent. She was muttering things that she didn't even understand. So that means she practically lost her mind, and they had to make a complaint to the police in Abuja because this happened in Abuja, and
wow,
this thing is being sold for 1,500 naira. It's another way. It's an ingenious way for these young people.
I read the story
to produce or peddle drugs.
I read that story and it was really scary for me because when I read the story, what hit me was the fact that they were selling to children. I mean, if you are selling Igbo not be today. When we were in university, we used to hear how they go to parties. Be careful what you eat in parties because they put it in the chicken, they put it in the food, in the rice. They use it to cook the
drinks.
food. So for that, it's fine if it's for adults, but you sell to school children cookies. So even you, they buy cookie at 1,500 naira. What were you thinking? 3 pieces of cookies.
And you're introducing that child to drugs.
So this is really scary, and thankfully they found them out because one of the children ate the cookie and started displaying. So they were able to trace, and I'm happy
the child lost the
that
mind,
they've
didn't
arrested
actually
them.
the age of the child. I think that is for,
protection,
they're trying
privacy.
to protect the child's privacy.
Yeah, quickly, let me take Lami's story, then I'll come to Uti. I want Uti's story to be the final one.
My story is just towards 2023. We've been making a lot of emphasis towards 2023, and this is the first chance to set it right. The local government elections is coming up in July, and there was a notice to that effect. Though July is a bit close, but there's still a lot that we can do. So I would like people to go out on that day and vote.
Do you have your voter's card?
Because yes, local government elections should never be underestimated or overlooked.
Absolutely.
Because they have formed the top tier of the government.
Yes.
So if we get it right from the bottom, at least bottom up.
Well, I'm not able to get my voter's card. I told you, I came to Ogudu to try to, because my voters card went missing after the 2015 elections. I couldn't do it in 2019. I've done all the affidavit and everything.
Again.
No. I'm supposed to go there and redo it, but they've not opened the portals yet.
They will. I think there's a time
because
frame.
I even took a story on that.
Yeah. But if elections are coming up in July, then they need to open it from now.
I think they said June or something, or May. I can't remember.
No, that's too close. That's like a disenfranchisement because it is too close logistically and all that. But even at that, we'll still go out.
Yeah, let me take Uti's story. Uti's story is quite heroic. Uti, let me come to you.
Is that what we're calling it?
I don't know. For me, it was strange to see a president in frontline
battle. Hey, Jesus is Lord.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So it's a sad one. First of all, I mean, any loss of life is regrettable. But this headline here says the Chad president, Idris Debby, has been killed. Very auspicious for me is the fact that he was only announced the winner of his sixth election in a row yesterday. And then he was out on the front lines today visiting troops. And the real circumstances, as with most things in this part of the world, the real circumstances are unclear as yet, but the army has said that he has died as a result of wounds sustained in the front line. And I believe that these insurrections started, I think, about a week and a week plus ago with rebels, and they've been battling. The army has been battling this, and he went out to visit them. So in the wake of his death, his 37-year-old son, who's also a 4-star general, will replace him in the interim. And a curfew has been imposed on the country's borders in the immediate. So he's one of Africa's longest serving rulers. As I said, this is the sixth election. I believe he was 68 as at the time of his passing. Typically when these things happen in Africa, it's always scary because the power is a do or die affair. And sadly, he has passed on. It's good that they've made quick decisions about who's taking over in the interim, but it's always a big issue.
Why did it have to be his son? I don't understand. Is he an inheritance?
Uti cannot answer that question now. The key
thing is that's part of why the story was interesting for me, because after having ruled for six terms, you're now passing it on to your son. It's not what's it called? It's not a monarchy, but he is a general. So the decision was taken by a group of military officers. So and it is meant to be temporary, but as we said, this is Africa. We know how these things go. So it'll be an interesting one to watch to see how it unfolds.
Absolutely.
But may his soul rest in peace.
He was already strategic about it. He was already grooming the boy to take over. He just didn't know it was going to come.
Is it an inheritance? For goodness sake, it's presidency.
We are in Africa.
Okay, we'll come back to this conversation. Yes. No, even now, Seth.
And you have to go to the battle line. I've never heard
this.
I've
never heard inherit Africa.
I've never heard a what it called?
But it's Commander-in-Chief of Army Staff.
I've never heard a president fighting.
Conspiracy theories have said a lot about how he ended up there and how he ended up dead. Like I said, the details are still unclear.
Unfolding, yeah.
So let's watch.
Let's watch and see. All right, so let's take a break. When we return, we want to be talking succession plans, inheritance, when it comes to children and parents. Stay with us, we'll be right back.